Good afternoon. It's Friday. It's the Friday of the end of the first week after Thanksgiving, which means here at Merrimack and elsewhere around schools, we're all getting ready for our holiday break and getting ready for that winter break that's coming up here in just a couple weeks. It's always a fun time at schools, as you know, kids maybe are a little ahead of us in their excitement and their anticipation of the holidays. But really, the other thing I really wanted to focus on was the holiday that just passed, and that is Thanksgiving. I think I think I probably have mentioned before, Thanksgiving is probably my favorite of all the holidays. I think it's great because it's one of those few holidays that's not focused on gifts or those types of things, and it also is it goes across lots of different cultures. It's not based on any one religion or any one thought. It's really more of just a holiday that's about focusing on family, focusing on who we are. And I know we can get into some of the how did it come, where did it come from, and whether or not it's an accurate portrayal of different historical perspectives. But really, when we just look at that time of taking that time to think about what we can be thankful for and taking the time to express our gratitude, it definitely makes it a worthwhile holiday, whether the historical background of it is something that we want to own or whether we want to admit to, or even whether we want to always talk about when we celebrate Thanksgiving. But I think it's important just to take time out of our schedules, take time out of our lives to spend time with our families, spend time with our friends, and really think about those things that we can be thankful and grateful for. So I wanted just to go through a few things that me personally that I'm extremely thankful for. Obviously, I've got a beautiful family, people who are supporting me and loving me and allow for me to do the things that I'm able to do. I'm also thankful for the fact that I am able to do these things. That I'm thankful to get to be the principal at Merrimack Elementary and lead this wonderful school full of great teachers, great kids every day. It's a joy. Every day is a little different. Obviously, some days are easier than others. There's stress that comes along with it, but the opportunity to get to do the things that I'm able to do are something that I want to be careful not to ever overlook and take for granted, because it really truly is a gift, and it allows me to have some meaning and purpose in my life as well. So it's a beautiful thing for me. Um, the other things, there's a couple other pieces that I was just reminded of today. First, we have some amazing kids here at the school who are doing great things, working hard, just come in and just blow our minds with the things that they're able to talk about, the depth, the maturity of them. Everything from the way they handle conflict is sometimes the model of what we look for from our adults. They are able to see things in each other that we wouldn't necessarily be able to see, and they come from this place of joy and of caring. And I get to work with 300 kids every day, and they remind us of really what's important, and that idea of how we continue to focus on and how are the children, and thinking about their well-being, but also just the things that we can learn from them and the joys that we may overlook, that they see, and it's good for them to remind us of those things. The other piece I don't want to forget is I just left a professional development session led by two of our fantastic educators, where what they were talking about was taking time to really get to know your students. So before you start thinking about what their needs are and what those other things academically or even behaviorally or sometimes the interventions that we want to put in place, really taking a step back and making sure that we truly know our students and what are the ways that they see themselves, and knowing them as people, and not losing that sense of who they are as people. And I've talked about this before, where I think in education we've had a tendency to become overly focused on data, overly focused on other pieces. And that's kind of pushed us at times to stop seeing our students as people and starting to see them as data points. And really, this idea of who are they, what makes them tick, and how are they bringing themselves into this world. And so we wanted to talk about that. So we spent some time just really pushing ourselves on how can we get to know our students, how do we build these relationships, but also how do our students see themselves, and to listen to the conversations, to listen to the ownership, to listen to the ways that our teachers are still pushing themselves, but also holding on to that feeling like, maybe I could do this a little better, maybe I could do that. It's an amazing thing that we don't have this sense of we've ever arrived, and we want to make sure that we continue to think about ways we could be reaching our students that we haven't yet. And it's something we don't want to always want to admit to those vulnerabilities, that we don't have all the answers, or that we can continue to grow and get better. But that's the truth. And if we stop ever looking to grow and get better, that's when we start to see that we've lost it. So really, to sit in a room full of educators on a Friday afternoon who are owning this, like really pushing themselves to want to think about how can I apply something. Teachers, you're talking about, on Monday I can do this. I mean, it's an amazing thing and something that we should never take for granted. Finally, I want to just as I right before I started this blog, I was in the office working with our office staff, and just they were laughing and just having a great time. So I just want to say thank you to them for that continual laughter, for bringing joy into our schools and into our workplace, and not forgetting that it's okay to laugh, it's okay to have fun, enjoy the people you work with, enjoy the things that we able to do, and not forget that. So at this time of year, I wanted just to say thank you for all of those pieces. Oh, one final piece I definitely don't want to forget. I'm incredibly thankful for that caring community that we have and the parents and everything we have here. The messages of support as we've started doing some of our work here at school. To have parents talk to me about having their children come home with stories about how they're learning about themselves in a different way, the identity that they're able to discuss. Parents who are thanking teachers due to their kids are asking them questions about their family's history and about where they've came from and who they are as people, and having these deeper conversations at home than what they'd had previously. And that's incredibly meaningful. So I also want to thank them because this morning I sat and we planned about how can we get our students out into the community looking for real, more authentic learning and experiences, and helping our students see the power that they actually have to influence their community beyond just the Clayton community that we live in. So we started looking for strategies and plans and ways we might be able to do that. And to have a parent community who's supportive of those things and really wanting us to start pushing our students in different ways is impactful. And it's really what we want to make sure we're accomplishing and really growing and learning from. So I'm an incredibly fortunate person. I enjoy the opportunity to get to lead this school, and I'm just thankful for the staff and for the students and the families and everybody here that helps continue our work. And just can't wait to come back on Monday and get started again. So have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon.